Good afternoon. The Arts Council for Monterey County welcomes you to our monthly segment, Artist Spotlight. I am Karen Lee Garcia, Programs Director, and today I am so pleased to welcome our local artists and our artworks at Pacific Grove tenant, Bryan Gage. Welcome to Artist Spotlight.
Well, thank you. It's good to be here.
Thank you so much. So after a decade abroad, international artist and designer Bryan Gage returned to his hometown to produce his first exhibition of colorful and dynamic paintings. His work is influenced by his travels, background in auto design, and follows a narrative of mankind's uncertain future with the natural elements. His focus is a progressive exploration of visual flow, dynamism in dimension, and the hopeful symbolism of humanity's role navigating the impending changes of global climate change. Bryan is one of the artists at our Artworks Pacific Grove Co-op, and we are so pleased to chat with him today about all of his exciting projects that are popping up all across Monterey. So welcome again to Artist Spotlight.
Thank you very much. I'm honored.
Yeah, so this show was started during our shelter in place that, began in March. And so we like to start just kind of hearing about, was there any transition that took place, with your work, anything that you had started and had to stop, or if everything has just been kind of flowing the same for you since shelter in place.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, of course, our society was kind of thrown into a far different dynamic that we've ever previously experienced. And so I think for an artist in kind of an odd way, I'm kind of a little shielded by that because I do spend so much time in the studio itself. But I took this kind of strange dynamic that we have now as an opportunity to really try and capture what's actually going on. So I started to actually leave the studio. I kind of did the opposite of what I normally do.
Right.
Yeah, and all of a sudden there's nobody out on the streets anymore. This was kind of during the first shutdown period. So then I took it as an opportunity to kind of capture the scene basically and try and interpret it in my own kind of unique way, I suppose.
Right. And maybe that shows in some of the work that we're going to show right now that you have on display in your studio at Artworks at Pacific Grove. Mm-hmm. In terms of color, because I know your work, how long have you been with Artworks? Just remind me.
I have been there since for about 3.5 years now.
Right. So 3.5 years. And so for me, just seeing some of the images right now that the audience is seeing on Facebook, to me, some of the colors have changed a little bit. Maybe, is that true reflection of this time?
Absolutely. I really wanted to try and take it upon myself to have a vibrance, really, and obviously color is kind of the way to do that and kind of match color with that kind of the vibrant dynamic shapes and lines, and also to kind of reflect this really interesting time in the world right now. And mm-hmm. And we're kind of living really interesting times, for better or worse, I guess.
Yeah, I just noticed there was a slight change in maybe colorways that I hadn't seen before, and they're absolutely stunning and beautiful. And it leads me to, I know one thing that you didn't mention that you had done a little differently during this shelter in place was you participated in the Arts Council's Art for Home program, where you created some videos for us to share with students that were at home and needed some additional activity. So maybe talk a little bit about that process.
Yeah, no, absolutely. So kind of in my past and being an automotive designer as well as an industrial designer. So my background in education is developing products and cars as well. So again, having the COVID kind of crisis going on right now, we're kind of secluded to our own homes. And so this was a good opportunity to create kind of online video sharing with the Arts Council for Monterey County. So they're basically just video tutorials of showing kind of young developing artists, designers how to design kind of something like a car sketch, or something like a sports water bottle, or a basketball shoe, for instance, and to really kind of take the learner step by step in that process of how to develop something from simple lines to just a very kind of quick render.
Right. And they were definitely for the sports car video. I was like, okay, Elon Musk, like, let's call Bryan
I know,
for,
I know.
for the next design, right?
Exactly.
Right. So there's that. And then in development with the all, you have something that's coming up, that you have a show that's going to be taking place, your first public art exhibit, called Beacon of Elements, at Pacific Grove Art Center. So let us know what is
Yeah.
happening with that.
Absolutely. So it's coming up September 4th. It's at the PG Art Center, downtown Pacific Grove. It's the reception is at 7. It goes from 7 to 9. It's a collection of about 20 artworks. Some of them are quite large, big, kind of bold, colorful pieces like you showed previously. Again, this is kind of my interpretation of kind of where we are in the world right now, and to try and really kind of capture that the essence of humanity, and where we might go in the future, and how we're kind of navigating these different kind of elements that are perhaps coming in the future. So some of these pieces are really kind of they're still developing, as you can see on this on the image that you show here. But for me to come back to my hometown of Pacific Grove, some of these pieces are quite, to my heart in a way. So you can kind of see the references of Pacific Grove and butterflies.
Right. And how, you said they're pretty large scale. So what's kind of your largest piece that will be on display?
The piece that's shown right here, that's roughly about 3.5 by 4.5 feet. So it's a larger piece.
Right.
Typically takes quite a long time to get everything correct. The piece is this is kind of mid-development in the piece right now. So actually, when you see it on the wall, it's going to look a lot different actually, but it's still going to carry a very similar theme.
Wonderful. And it's nice to hear that they're having a reception. So are they doing like a social distance reception, or?
I suppose, yeah. I talked to the
Yeah.
I talked to the organizers there. We're definitely going to do some masks and some arms.
Well, that's great to know that there are galleries that are opening, and there will be, the opportunity for local patrons to walk through to see your work. And that's really, really exciting. We'll be sure to advertise that, as it gets a little bit closer. So
Absolutely.
That's awesome. And just continuing on with your artwork, because truly you really have been, you started, I'm not sure. Tell us about your background with murals. I know there's one in our office, which is so beautiful, but I want to hear more about the murals that are you've been producing across Monterey.
Absolutely. So producing the murals has been really a lot of fun. It's great to be able to take just a very small kind of napkin sketch and be able to translate that very simple sketch onto a big wall, and have that opportunity, to produce something which lasts, 10, 20 years is really a lot of fun. So it's really been a great opportunity to be able to do these murals through the Arts Council of Monterey County and with the Monterey County Weekly. In a couple months, actually, I'll be developing a 150-foot long mural with my buddy Kenton, part of Artworks in Pacific Grove. So this is a really great challenge. We have a handful of artists coming in from all over the United States. Actually, it's a development through We Arts with the Monterey Arts Council, as well as with the City of Sand City. And this is basically kind of a precursor event that's going to go ahead and set up. It's basically what they call an art park. So it's going to be a great opportunity for hopefully a lot of young artists, a lot of young, vibrant artists to come into the area and produce their own art. And so that's kind of the vision behind it.
And what's the name of the mural? I don't know if it's a working title, but
yeah, it's a working title. It's called Electric Life. And Kent and I have kind of developed this idea to essentially produce really kind of interesting, poignant moments in our lives. And so we're kind of putting this on the wall. And again, like I said, it's 150 foot long. So that's half a football field. So it's going to give us an opportunity give us an opportunity to really kind of spread our wings a little bit. And it's essentially supposed to take the viewer through a story from kind of the beginning of our lives or a person's life, all the way up through middle age and to eventual old age. And so that's kind of the idea.
And do you know exactly where it's going to be located in Sand City yet? Or, I mean, you have the wall, you have the intersection already for where it's going to
Oh
be?
gosh, I'm trying to remember the
If
exact.
you don't, no problem. I'll ask you later, and we'll include it in the Facebook feed with the information about the mural. So
Cool.
just
Sand
just
City's
so
not too
people, yeah, Sand City's not too big. Just
big.
drive around a few times and you'll find it.
You'll find it.
Exactly. It's very exciting what's happening in Sand City with the art park.
It is.
I've already seen a couple murals going up. It's very, very cool. So I'm
Yeah,
glad you're going to be a part of that.
thank you. It's a blast. They've been talking about it for a while now, and it's really nice to be able to see it kind of finally come to fruition.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. And what else is going on, Bryan Gage? I know the Arts Council contacted you a little while ago to ask you to put your stamp on another project that we're working on, kind of a sneak peek for us. It will be rolling out soon. So share with us what that is.
Absolutely. So it's again, kind of COVID has given some opportunities to artists. So through the Monterey Arts Council, um, basically the development of a really special kind of COVID mask poster has been in development. I'm actually really proud of this poster. It's been a lot of fun to do.
It is absolutely it's beautiful.
Thank you, thank you. Yeah, it's been a lot of fun to produce and develop. And again, it's kind of a reflection of Monterey. And when I think of Monterey, it tends to be a very kind of romantic place, and that's the way I've always felt it being. And so, to me, there's really nothing more romantic than the scene of seeing the squid boats on the water and that amazing glow.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. And a reminder to protect yourself right now so we can
Exactly.
continue to enjoy our beautiful Monterey County.
Exactly.
Yeah. So, there's a lot going on, but is there anything that, what's next for you? I know that you were looking into continuing going to, school, graduate school. Is that still in the future? So let me know. Let us know.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, it's grad school is definitely in the works. Eventually, I'd love to get my PhD. I might have another opportunity to go back to live in India again and to work at a university there and develop my own PhD work. So I'm really excited by the opportunities that hopefully arise in my future. So I'm not sure if I'm going to be here in the States getting my grad program done, or if I'm going to be in India. We'll kind of see what, especially with our flight restrictions happening right now. We everything's a little bit shaky, but we all know it'll work out in the end eventually.
Right. And it's good to have that plan for the future, but you have a lot going on right now. So
absolutely do. I've also got another exhibition planned. I'm looking for the next slot available at the PG Art Center as well. So there's probably another one that's going to be planned, hopefully by the end of this year.
Oh, wonderful. Yes, keep us posted so we can be sure to share it with our audience. And how can we find you online? Because you are a true artist where we see your artwork, but where is Bryan Gage?
Right. It's on Instagram, of course. Yeah. Okay. The problem with when you produce so much artwork, it takes twice as much time and effort to put it online and to keep yourself updated. So
right.
if there's any art marketers out there, I need you.
Contact Bryan.
Exactly. It's you can find me on Instagram. It's _Gage, GAGE.artist _ at Instagram.
Wonderful. And we'll put that into our Facebook feed as well.
Cool.
Well, Bryan, if there's anything else you want to share, this is your time. You pitched for a marketing professional to contact you, so that's great. And but it's been a pleasure to speak to you and to see more of your artwork. And I look forward to, driving through Sand City to see that beautiful mural that you are developing right now. So thank you so much for joining us today on our Artist Spotlight.
Thank you so much. Thank you for the time. Stay safe out
Absolutely.
there.
Yes, thank you.
Thanks.
So stay tuned for another artist spotlight next month. And in the meantime, go to our website at www.artsfornc.org to learn about all of the programs. And please join in, please share and comment. And thank you very much. Have a wonderful afternoon. Thank you.